دعاة رب السماء يا من صنعتم في الأرض نورا.
All praise and glory to Allah Almighty. He is our supreme creator. He is the supreme king of this entire universe. Salawat and salam, peace and blessings to our last prophet, Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the chosen one, Khatamul Anbiya, the seal of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, Sahaba Ikram, his tabi'een, Sahaba Ikram and his followers, tabi'een and his Sahaba Ikram and his companions, tabi'een and his followers, and all the Muslims who follow the sunnah of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam until the last day of the judgment. Brothers and sisters, my dear children, boys and girls, fear Allah Ta'ala Almighty. I advise for me first and to you all to have consciousness, taqwa, reverence, or God-fearing, whatever we use. Because Allah says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, or believers of Iman, ittaqullah. Fear Allah Ta'ala Almighty. Haqqa tuqatih, the real taqwa, real consciousness, real God-fearing of Allah Ta'ala Almighty. Therefore, وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Therefore, you will never ever die unless as a Muslim, bearing the shahada, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله. Therefore, our last word has to be, my dear brothers, sisters, and children, has to be أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله. My dear brothers and sisters, just thought of talking about the seerah, the biography of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Ya Rasulullah, wa innaka al-ala khuluqin azim. When you Google it, wa innaka al-ala khuluqin azim, you can see a lot of translations. Ya Rasulullah, you have tremendous, exceptional moral characters. And indeed, you are the great man of the moral character. And you have an exalted standard of the characters. And you are certainly the most exalted standard of the tremendous moral characters. This is the attributes, explanation given to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by Allah Almighty. Allah also says, لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ. Indeed, certainly a Rasul came from you, from your community. His job is عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. He is concerned by your sufferings, anxious of your well-being, and gracious and merciful to the believers. Why he is worried about your sufferings and anxious? Because if you are not accepting the creed of Islam and taqwa and iman, definitely the person will be the hellfire. So he's so anxious, he's so worried about the propagation and preaching of Islamic da'wah. And when you are becoming Muslim, he's so soft-hearted to you. He's so gracious and so merciful, he's so compassionate. So this is the explanation given by Allah Ta'ala Almighty. A Christian scholar and Oriental religious, Professor Michael Hart, he has written a book of 100. He has chosen Rasulullah as the first person in his book. There are a lot of comments, a lamentation for the Christian world and all the Orthodox world. Professor Michael Hart says, the reason why I have chosen Prophet ﷺ in my book of 100, book as a first person, he is writing in his introduction, perhaps might surprise some of the readers and question by others, but he was only the one supreme personality who was supremely successful on the both religious and the secular in this level. He was the only man who is supremely successful in the history, both religious and secular. My dear brothers and sisters, the Muslim life has to be balanced. secular life and spiritual and religious life. The best dua is we ask, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. Ya Allah, give us the best in this world and the akhirah. When you talk about the tremendous moral qualities of Rasulullah and his submission and his patience and his softness and his courage and his mercy and his generosity and his proximity and his cry for Allah Ta'ala Almighty, we can write each and every qualities. We can go for a PhD thesis and doctorate. Rasulullah has a greatest personality in the Muslim Ummah. Aisha Siddiqah was questioned, Ya Aisha, how was your husband? How would you describe your husband? She says, Kana khuluqu Qur'ana. He was the mirror of the Quran. All of his actions and examples based on the Quran. She also says in her own words, Kana basharan mal bashar. He was a simple human like other humans. Yaksfun alahu. He used to mend his own shoes. وَيَرْقَوْ ثَوْبَهُ. He used to mend his own clothing. وَيَحْلِبُ شَاتَهُ. He got sheep. He used to go and milk his own hand. وَيَخْدِمُ نَفْسَهُ. He takes himself. He takes shower. He looks after his personal well-being and physical well-being. وَيَعْمَلُ مَا يَعْمَلُ الرِّجَالِ. He plays his role as a husband, as a father in the family. For the Habat al-Salat, when the Adhan calls, he goes to Salat. These examples and description of his beloved wife, Aisha Siddiqah. My dear brothers, so in a nutshell, we can see the biography of Seerah of Rasulullah as a wonderful da'i, a leader, a warrior, caretaker of poor and needy, the orphans, great father, a wonderful, caring and lovely husband, great politician, by uniting multiple ethnic groups in Medina, including Christians and Jewish people. A great social worker. Rasulullah at the age of younghood, he was a young and smart man. At the age of 21, he established a social movement called Hilf al-Fudul. He became a prophet at the age of 40. When he was a young man, he established a trust or a waqf or an association in the modern world we call Hilf al-Fudul, a trust. He formed the trust. He used to take care of the Arabian community, regardless of their faith or a language or a color or ethnic boundaries. A great reformer, a wonderful social worker, an extraordinary intelligent diplomat, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, emancipator of slavery of the women and the slavery, the women domination. Because of his extraordinary diplomacy, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, Umar ibn Khattab coming and asked, Ya Rasulullah, are you the real prophet? Of course I am the real prophet. So why you are agreeing the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, the people who are shifting from Medina to Mecca, they are not allowed to come back. But the people who are coming from Mecca to Medina, they are able to go back. It's unfair, unethical. How come? The Prophet ﷺ smiled and said, Ya Umar, be patient. Historians are writing, because the extraordinary diplomacy of Rasulullah ﷺ, the people who came from Mecca to Medina, they are asked to go back to Mecca. They came from Mecca to Medina, they learned Islam. They became Muslims. They went back to Mecca, they started to preach and propagate. I met a wonderful person, Rasulullah. These are the creed of Islam. Slowly, silently, Islam has started to spread in Makkah, even though after the hijrah of Rasulullah. My dear brothers and sisters, why I am saying all these things? Let us practice our contemporary lifestyle. As per the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna min ashar an-nas inda Allahi manzal yawm al-qiyamah. The worst person, the eyes of Allah in the qiyamah. If I say in English, you can say good, better, best. If I say bad, worst, you can understand. My dear children, you will learn school in English. You can understand easily, Ustad, what is the meaning of bad, worst. You can explain to me good, better, best. Similarly, in Arabic, if you say shar is automatically bad. Ashar means the worst. You can't explain in Arabic the worst other than the word ashar. That person is in the qiyamah, in the sight of Allah. Ar-rajul, the person, husband, come and yufri ila imratihi. The husband used to expose the secret of his wife in this world. وَتَفْضِي إِلَيْهِ ثُمَّ يَنْشُرْ سِرَّهَا. Likewise, the wife, she exposes the secret of a husband in this world. These are the husband and wife are the extremely worst people in the eyes of Allah in the Qiyamah. My dear brother as a husband, my dear sister as a wife, please question yourself. Are you playing your role as a sincere husband, sincere wife? How many people are trapped? What do you mean by trapped? Husbands are threatening and blackmailing their wife. If you don't do this, I will expose you in the Facebook. I will tell your relatives. I will tell your friends. Likewise, the wives. Wives are saying, if you don't follow this to me, I'll call the police. I'll trap you in. I'll put you behind the bar. I'll go to the mosque. I'll give you letters. I'll give the alarm on board. I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. I will do this. I will do this. You are trapped. Who is doing this? Your own husband, your own wife. If you are trapped in your life, you will become anxious. You are stressed. You are disturbed. You can't sleep properly. You can't drive properly. You can't think properly. You can't take care of your wellness properly. You can't do anything. You can't earn money. You can't sleep. This is the modern lifestyle of a human these days. Because we are totally brainwashed about this material life. When you talk about the history of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I got Arabic text, I got no time to translate because of the fact of the time. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to sit with his wife, passing jokes. He is so cheerful, charitable. The people will think he is such a jovial, friendly husband. Of course he is. He is not only taking care of their joy and happiness, my brothers and sisters. Behind the screen, when his wives are crying, he goes and gives them a hug and wipes their tears. Support them. Take care of them. Don't worry, my dear wife, I'm here for you as a husband. When they are in pain, when they are in stress mood, when they are in a difficult situation, in their sickness, there's a husband to take care of them. When you do the Aqd Nikah, we say, are you happy to hold the hands of this bride and the groom, to share your life openly, at the time of happiness and joy, at the time of difficulties and hardship, to share your life openly by enjoying, by following the instructions of the Holy Quran, by enjoying, exercising adab and akhlaq and tremendous moral qualities of Rasulullah. If you say yes, Qabul, ijab Qabul done. So Prophet ﷺ says, khairukum khairukum li ahli, the best of you are those who are best toward the family. Does this hadith my dear brother, was only for husbands and sisters? No, you also, my dear sister. In Israel lifestyle, we always talk about the husbands. Brothers, you should be very lovely persons by enjoying, practicing tremendous moral qualities and adab akhlaq of Rasulullah. My dear sister, my dear wife, the wives are playing their role as mothers, as wives, as daughters. This is for you also. I don't want to see our wonderful sisters coming to pray here. Our wonderful brothers are coming to pray here in the front line, showing up like a big da'iyah, doing a lot of social workers, doing a lot of khidmat, trapping and blackmailing their husbands, stabbing their back, dominating, trapping them, bullying them, intimidating them, harassing them, abusing is haram in Islam. Likewise, if the husband does or the wife does, totally haram in Islam. Allah says in the Quran, Inna salata tanha al-fahsha'i wal munkar. Indeed, the salah is protecting you from all these immoral, bad characters. My dear brother, my dear sister, my dear son and daughter, if you are really praying, the prayer should purify our hearts from all this kind of unhealthy, ugly, bad attitudes. While we are praying the salat, when we go home, if an ugly attitudes are coming like an ugly head raising up from your body, think about your salat. Think about your wudu. Question about yourself. Are we really enjoying the salat? Are we really following all the arkan and khushu and ruku? Are we really focusing on salat? Because if the salat is not purifying me consciously, spiritually, religiously, in all of my transactions, behaviors, family affairs, jobs, halal and haram, consciously, I'm not praying. There is something wrong in my prayer. My dear brothers and sisters, قال عليه الصلاة والسلام, the Prophet said that, Al-Qayyisu. You know who is the wise person? Man dana nafsuhu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. Who submits himself and work harder to prepare himself or herself after the death. Ul-ajizu. You know who is the incapable, disabled, weak person? Man tabahawa. He always follows his self-desires. وَتَمَنَّ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Then he'll say, oh, I'm a Muslim. I will live for 100 years. I'll do whatever I want. After I become 50, 60, I'll go for Umrah. I'll make Tawbah. I'll be in Jannah. Dilemma, delusions, kind of imaginary world. What guarantee, my dear son, my dear sister, my dear daughters, my dear brothers, because I'm 60, I will die early. Because you are 30, you will die later. Is there any guarantee? No. It goes vice versa. We have seen how many janazas, how much death. All of a sudden, the person go to work, ended up the Auckland emergency, straight through the janazah come to the masjid. Straight through. The person is hospitalized, 2-3 days in coma, then died. This is the halat. So what I'm saying is, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear sons and daughters, this seerah of Rasulullah should give us a lesson from each and every of our lifestyle. Rather than we reform the society, please go back and reform your own home. Charity begins from your home. As a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a mother, as a daughter, as a son, as an uncle, right? As a grandpa, as a grandma, your extended family members. Think and reflect how much we are following tremendous moral qualities and adab akhlaq of Rasulullah Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As Allah says, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Ya Rasulullah, you have tremendous moral qualities. May Allah forgive all of us. May Allah forgive and forget all of our shortcomings. But this is a time we go home and communicate with your wife and husbands. effectively, seriously, freeing them from all these traps, all these dominations, controlling behaviors, attitudes. Try to enjoy cuddling and kissing and talking and laughing. Try to enjoy and begin companionship, giving a husband and wife by the time of hardship and difficulties, so they can lay down on your shoulder. You got a shoulder. Be a good father. Be a good mother. Be a role model husband. Be proud of Islam. May Allah accept all of it, inshallah. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه الغفور الرحيم البر الكريم التواب.